Hey, good morning, everybody. On the screen, we have a young woman who unfortunately is no longer with us. She's a lady that was found in an RV that belonged to a police officer who has recently, as I understand, resigned. Now, they're not showing his picture in this clip, which makes me wonder why. Is it possible? And I don't know if you've got a picture, let me know, email it. Is it possible that the officer could be a Dusty Dan? Haven't seen his picture yet. Now, here is another one. So let's go ahead and do her clip. And then we have another police officer who has also was arrested. And I believe he said it billed $90,000 for assaulting the girlfriend, I understand. But yes, this one right here woke up in the RV of a police officer who is now recently, as a report, resigned. Appears to be OD. Check it out, fair use.
From the family of a woman found dead inside the RV of a former Chicago police officer. They've now filed a wrongful death lawsuit in that case.
And WGN's Kelly Davis is joining us now live from our newsroom with more. Kelly.
Ray and Micah, the family of Treasure Hendricks is suing the former police officer, claiming negligence. They say he gave her the drugs that led to her death.
The blood of Treasure is on the hands of the Chicago Police Department.
Treasure Hendricks died of a drug overdose back in August. The 35-year-old's death was ruled an accident, but her family is left with a lot of questions.
We're going to make a concerted effort to get answers from the Chicago Police Department as to what occurred and what their investigation found, because we right now have no information.
Hendricks was found dead inside an RV parked in a lot at 15th and Western. Records show the RV is owned by a Chicago police officer who resigned from CPD 7 days after her death.
There are a lot of red flags here, and these families just ask reasonable questions.
An autopsy found that Hendricks died of a drug overdose involving alcohol, cocaine, fentanyl, meth, and ecstasy. Morgue records show Hendricks spent the night at the officer's RV, and when he woke up the next morning, he found her unresponsive.
Miss Hendricks, we believe, does not have a regular history of using hard drugs. The family questions the medical examiner's report. The family questions the Chicago Police Department.
The Hendricks family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the officer, saying he gave Hendricks the drugs that led to her death.
Her untimely death was caused by his negligence, his acts, and his omissions.
The lawsuit is only against the officer. However, Hendricks' attorneys are investigating the police department and other city agencies.
Right now, subpoenas are going out to the Chicago Police Department and numerous agencies. They're out to try to determine if there's anyone else that might be liable for Treasure's death.
The former officer has not been charged in connection to Hendricks' death. The lawsuit asks for more than $100,000 for Cynthia Hendricks, Treasure's mom.
Okay, so he hasn't been charged. So the investigation, I guess it may be safe to assume they're in the process of. And as the attorney mentioned, they are going to be subpoenaing information. Gonna be interesting. Again, I have not seen a photo of the officer, so it makes me wonder if it's possibly Officer Dusty Dan. And then they could possibly spin it. I mean, this could go all kind of ways. Oh, well, she spent the night there, but she must have done drugs prior. So we may have, it'll be interesting to see. We may end up having a situation where you have, victim blaming, especially when it comes to women. And especially when it comes to Black women, because already in the BC, everything is our fault. And you'll have a mini dust bucket and their men. Well, that's on her. She did that, try to blame that man. That's why Black women, 2022, it has to be about you. The decisions that we make, it has to be about you. This right here is going to be very interesting, especially where she got the drugs, where the drugs came from. I'm like, why would you give her drugs? And did these drugs come from the police room? That's what the first thing hit my mind. Did these drugs come from the Will they keep things for drug cases? I've heard of that on television. There are a lot of questions here. And of course, any family wants the answers, but I find it interesting they haven't showed the officer. There's no photo. So it could be it's Dusty Dan, but we will find out. We'll hopefully get some updates on the case, and once I get them and I'm able to, I will share them with you. But this is very, it's disturbing. A young life lost. We have to really be careful about the decisions we make and who we are around. We really do. Now look at this case here. Here's a case involving another officer. H-Town, former HPD officer, makes first court appearance. Listen to what, now we have a picture of him. And maybe it's safe to assume the other officer has not been arrested, that there is no photo. But again, we've got a picture of him because this one right here makes a court appearance. So he was arrested and charged with burglary and assault. Check it out, fair use.
Was revealed in court today involving the former HPD officer now charged with brutally assaulting his ex-girlfriend. 41-year-old Ray Irvin is charged with burglary and assault of a family member. In court today, prosecutors said Irvin broke down the front door of the woman's apartment last month, pulled a gun on her, repeatedly hit her, then pressed that gun to her head before leaving with their child. Today, a judge set Irvin's bond at $90,000 and issued a protective order for the ex-girlfriend. Irvin has been with the Houston Police Department since 2009. HPD saying yesterday he has since been relieved of duty.
Wow.
New details revealed in court today involving the former HPD officer now charged with brutally assaulting his ex-girlfriend. 41-year-old
brutally assaulting the ex-girlfriend, kicking the door down, and taking the child. First thing hit my mind when I heard that part, taking the child. Child support. Taking my child with me. That way I can have custody and I don't have to pay. That's the first thing that entered my mind. And to pull that gun on the woman, press it to her, put it to her head to intimidate her. Dusties don't think like the cop that's woke up with the girl and now she's deceased. Boo, you know they're going to be looking at you. This one right here, breaking the door down into the woman's apartment, grabbing the child like that. Did you think she was just going to, oh, I'm so scared, just let him go ahead and go? Women are constantly being attacked. Again, the first thing hit my mind was like, wow, you know what? He probably is on child. That's a possibility because child support seems to really trigger it. You know what I mean? If you want to get it going, mention the child support. Money out the pocket. They're not used to being these Dusties. I don't care what nationality. They don't want to be responsible. Hell no. The mammies don't cater to them. They just want a workplace, spread their old poverty D, destructive seed, place it in an IOD, and leave the consequences to society. You and me. That's what they do. They've been caught up by these mammies, and now you want me to be responsible. He only wants to be responsible for maybe tricking his old dingy ass birthday. All he wants, all his money to go on him, and maybe every now and then a little thought. Be responsible. They haven't had to be responsible. Because the first thing hit my mind was, wow, I bet it was probably child support. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. So I'm going to go and take my child and I'll raise him. And it's like, how is he going to raise a child? Will the child be raised correctly? Might be raised by some old street thing that he know or just locked up into a room. Seriously. The first thing hit my mind was he's probably tired of paying for the child support. It's Christmas time and it's child support he hasn't planned financially. You're going to interfere with his Christmas and his New Year's plans because he got to pay for his child, pay for his seed. Dude, get a vasectomy. I have no sympathy for when these men commit these crimes because guess what? You don't have to get a woman pregnant. Go get a vasectomy. Use protection. I mean, seriously, this is ridiculous. So the fact that he took the child, oh, that lets me know one thing. In my mind, first thing in my mind is child support. The good thing is she survived. Because some of these women, whether it be a cop or not, they don't survive. But this one here sounds like total. It's a power move, and it's intimidation. So next, I would not be surprised if it would then be, okay, I got the child is now with me, I need you to go ahead and drop that child support. Child support seems to be the trigger. So 2 Dusties. This one here, $90,000 bond. Now he's been released. Guess what? Because you lost your job, the child support still is going to go on. It doesn't stop. I don't care if you're on unemployment. I've heard the stories. It still goes on. Well, how much are you making? They don't care about you. And neither do you. Because if you did care about yourself, you would plan. But I understand planning, being responsible, accountability, that would be the actions of a grown man. 41 years old and a 41-year-old fool. This one right here for Treasure Hendricks. I want to see, just like we saw this one here face, Officer Chocolate Drop. I want to see this one here. Where's this picture at? Is it Dusty Dan, Peter Pan? Where's he at? Where'd the drugs come from? The family thinks he gave for the drugs. Probably did. Well, did he buy them off the street? Did he get them from that police locker room? Some laced up stuff for a case? Gonna get a little party on, and it went all wrong, and now she's gone. Accountability has to be had. It has to be had. 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, but especially to the ladies, 2022, it has to be about you. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out. Take care. Enjoy your Sunday.